Opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, it is a great honor to be with all of you. Social Security is a lifeline to 72 million Americans all across the United States. 50% of American seniors living alone depend entirely on Social Security to keep them out of poverty. Not to mention, millions of people with disabilities also depend on Social Security to keep them out of poverty, to keep them from dying in poverty. But after 10 years of Congress reducing customer service staffing at Social Security to a 50-year low, the challenge faced by this vitally important agency is perhaps the most daunting in its 89-year history, and that's saying a lot. But the reason for this crisis is no mystery. Social Security today is struggling to serve more customers than ever, and we all knew they were coming, more customers than ever, with staffing that Congress has reduced to a 50-year low. This hard but central truth is the underlying operational context of everything we will discuss here today. And I do not believe that this was your intention. In fact, Appropriations Chairman Tom Cole, after learning of this reality, said to me that it was more a matter of congressional neglect than it was of congressional intent. But this is what happens when an agency is forced to serve more and more customers than ever with fewer and fewer staff year after year after year. The American people deserve better. In fact, they've already paid for better. I know your offices have received their calls. I know you've heard their cries. Some of you will therefore be glad to learn that over the last year, notwithstanding the yawning, gaping, growing mismatch between rising customers and declining staff, the agency was led through a series of actions that achieved real, measurable progress on some of its toughest problems. We drove down the speed to answer on the 1-800 number from 42 minutes at the beginning of last year to 12.8 minutes in October of 2024. We eliminated the clawback cruelty that used to intercept 100% of a beneficiary's monthly benefit if there was a mistaken overpayment. We cleared more disability cases than we received for the first time in years. For 27 weeks in a row, we reduced the backlog of administrative law judge disability hearings and their average processing times, both to 30-year lows. And we drove up overall productivity by 6.2%. To repeat, last year, we drove up productivity by 6.2%, the largest single-year increase since 2012. The dramatic turnaround achieved last year is important. People's lives depend on this agency. But men and women of the committee, the mismatch between rising customers and reduced staffing is growing, and only you can address this problem. Not by cutting staff, not by falsely accusing staff of failing to work hard enough, but by restoring the customer service for which Americans have already paid, worked their whole life to pay for. In conclusion, the turnaround in customer service achieved by the hard-working men and women of the Social Security Administration last year was an achievement unrivaled by any agency in the federal government in recent years. But as the number of American beneficiary customers continues to climb, the people of the United States who depend on Social Security urgently need your help right now. I look forward to answering your questions, and I yield back my time.
Gentleman yields back. Before I recognize Congressman Davis, I'm going to yield to Mr. Conley